Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I'm back with another install video. This time not on my car, but we are installing Takeda Short Ram Intake on Ken's 2014 Mitsubishi Lancer GT. So for those of you guys older subscribers to my channel, I have done a couple of intake installs. So I done my engine core intake on my Lancer GT. I also did an intake install on my EK Civic, as well as a short ram intake on my brother's Eclipse GT. So pretty much short ram or cold air intake, the install process is pretty similar, just that cold air intake is a little more troublesome because you gotta go all the way below, you gotta remove more bolts and stuff. But let's get to the install. Now we're gonna let Ken take out all the different parts to the intake. So I've heard pretty good stuff about the Takeda intake. So what made you decide on this brand?
Not many people have it, I guess. Most people get like a Can-Am or Ingen, so I just want to get something unique.
And I like how they have the heat shield as well. And why short ram, not cold air? Any preference?
I guess money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't really know the different components of the intake, I'll just basically quickly go through. So this is your intake air filter, and that's your heat shield, so that whenever it's in the engine bay, it protects, pretty much isolates the cone from the engine so you don't get too much heat. And then you get some piping. Yeah, so pretty much pretty simple stuff here. Couple bolts they provided, an extra hose if you need it. They already have the clamps on here, so that's all we have, and we're just gonna get to removing the different components on the OEM intake. The first few things we need to remove is, so Ken's already working on it, gotta remove this. This is where it kind of sucks in air, and then it goes in this factory air box, so this whole thing's coming out. And then we gotta disconnect that mass airflow sensor, and then pretty much remove this hose, and this whole thing just comes off. So once that whole thing's off, the install will be way easier. So for those of you guys who don't know too much about cars or are just getting into cars, the intake is definitely one of the, I guess you could say, simpler installs they can do on your car for starters. That was basically one of my first few mods on my EK Civic as well. I was a little afraid, I didn't know how to do it, but pretty simple. Upon a 5 in terms of difficulty, I would give it like a 1 or 2. You can do it yourself. All you really need is cross-tip screwdriver. You might need a 10mm wrench, but you know, you don't need crazy power tools or anything like that. The first part out, and then what we could do is take this one out. So I guess oh, the battery, yeah. So with every, I guess, electrical mod, you want to disconnect the battery just to be on the safe side. So since we have the intake, we're going to disconnect the mass airflow sensor. We could just disconnect the battery to be on the safe side. So basically, after doing some work, we managed to take the whole thing off. So as you can tell, throttle body is empty right now. So like I said, it's just 3 basic components that comes off the OEM one. So first you remove this snorkel looking thing, and then your OEM intake box comes off, and then lastly is this tube. And then also with the mass airflow sensor, remember to attach your OEM mass airflow sensor onto your new piping. So right now we're just gonna install it. So let me just borrow this. So with the short ram intake, there's many. We gotta kind of try to see how we want to position it. Is it going? I think it's going to go this way, and then there's this opening right here, which we will fit like a hose, kind of like a coolant hose, from here, the piping, over to the engine. And then mass airflow sensor, we're just going to reconnect it with this. And then pretty much, yeah, the I guess the cone will go on, and then the heat shield will go around the cone. So we'll just kind of show you guys how it works. Okay, and now that we attach this heat shield on, the cone's gonna go in there in a moment, and then Ken is just attaching that, I guess you can call it an intake tube to that this little rubber thingy. We have all the parts fitted together. We're just trying to tighten and make sure the fitment fits really nice and snug. So I went ahead and moved my Lancer beside Ken's Lancer. So quick rundown, his is the 2014 Lancer GT. So pretty much mine's the 2015 Lancer GT. So same specs, just that mine was black in color. So I always like to say that Ken's car always reminds me of mine when I used to get it at the initial stages. So this is the OEM Lancer GT wing that he came stock with. So it came with a baby wing, and then yeah, pretty much over the progress of a couple months, I seen Ken put on some new wheels. He has this intake that's going in right now, and he said down the line, hopefully by the end of this year, he might have like a nice exhaust. He's also trying to find like a nice Evo Ralliart white color hood. So if anyone's here in the Austin area or Austin, Texas area that wants to sell them for a pretty good price, just let us know. And of course, he had to black out this front end, so that, I guess you can call it the nose. So a lot of Lancer owners don't really like how the chrome front end looks, so he went ahead and blacked that out at the center. I always think it looks much better. And pretty much we just put on the finishing touches, mass airflow sensors back in, put back this little snorkel thing so it's gonna feed the air to the intake. And pretty much what's left to do is just we're gonna crank the car on in a little bit and see how it sounds. Gonna start up the car now for the first time with the new intake. Done with the Takeda Short Ram Intake install on Ken's 2014 Mitsubishi Lancer. Give a thumbs up if you guys like the install videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.